Hey everyone, Gherky here with Exodus Network bringing you another King Arthur Legends Rise video. Today's video is going to be mistakes to avoid. I believe we have 2, 4, 6 for volume 1. So let's get into it. First mistake, leveling too many units at the same time. It takes a lot of resources to level units up. And you are going to starve yourself with gold XP potions, Relic XP potions, if you're trying to build too many units. My recommendation for this is to build a core team, your 4 units, and then maybe 1 to 2 other units to help you progress in other portions of the game, other content. Like maybe you'll need a Jarrett or a Isolde or somebody for Gorgos. Although Isolde's a pretty solid healer for a regular team if you're using a healer anyway. Work on your 4 core units, 1 or 2, units that you swap in and out, and then once your core team and your sub team units are done, then you can start moving on to other units. For expedition, you're gonna need a full team, but you can slowly do that because the first 2 expeditions actually aren't that difficult. So, speaking of expeditions, second tip is don't rush your expedition levels. And what I mean by that is, so the expeditions actually increase, somewhat of a decent rate when it comes to CP and the units that you're going to attack. So I'm going to tell you right now, level 1 is super easy. You can probably just bust through it with your 4 main units and a couple units just sitting in there doing absolutely nothing. But you get rewards. As you see here, for Expedition 1, you get a 4-star rare protection equipment chest, 10,000 gold, or 10,000 lumber, 10,000 iron. Okay? Part 2, level 2, you just get barely more, man. You're not getting that much more. But if you get stuck and you die in the middle of 2, you're not going to get any of those rewards. You just wasted a key, and you just wasted those rewards. So what you should do is do a little bit of research beforehand and figure out which expedition level you can do and guarantee that you can complete. You only get, I think you get these keys, every 2 days? I'm about to get one right now. So 4 days, 2 hours, yeah. So you get 1 key every 2 days. So if you blow through your keys and you mess up, you have to wait 2 days for another key. You're not going to lose that much progression in the game, but it's still progression, it's still materials, it's still rewards that you are going to be missing out on. Alright, third mistake to avoid, and this is actually a pretty big one. This is something I see people doing in Discord all the time, daily basis. Do not ignore your gear during progression. Most people look at, oh man, I have a gray 1-star piece or a green 1-star piece, gray 3-star piece, I'm just going to wait until something else comes along. That is absolutely the least efficient way to progress in this game. You have to remember that for every +3 that you get, you gain an extra stat. So on a gray piece, your first +3 gives a whole new stat. Bringing it to +6 gives 2 stats. Green gear, start with a stat, so +3 automatically puts a bonus into that 1 stat. And then on +6, you get the second stat. My recommendation is to obviously fill sets in first. Get 4 attack piece and 2 HP or whatever. Level them all to +6. For progression wise, honestly, during the early and mid game, it doesn't really matter what the stats and the substats are. If you can focus on attack for an attack unit or HP for an HP unit, do it. But those stats are going to give you a significant CP boost, and even those stats that you don't like, you don't think do anything, like defense still mitigates damage, HP still gives you more damage to take. These things add up. That's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. If you're listen, I'm not going to mention any names, but one of the dudes in our guild, or not our guild, our Discord was like, oh yeah, man, I just put gear on it. I'm going to wait until I get 4 or 5-star gear. I'm not wasting my resources. And the dude was stuck on chapter 3. And we had to school him. Level up your units, get it going. All he did, he leveled all of his pieces of gear for his 4-man team up to +6. and he was able to push to the boss on chapter 5. That's it. And he didn't increase any levels. He didn't transcend them or whatever you want to call it. Pay attention to your gear. It's very important. You know, once you get to hard stages or later story stages, and you can target farm gear that you want, like if you want an attack ring or an attack pair of boots, then you can go start farming and start swapping the pieces out one at a time. You don't want to sit there and farm 200 pieces and then swap your gear out at once. Just go through, pick and choose. Let's say you have flat HP on a ring and you want attack. Well, you got attack, put it on there. If you got attack percentage, put it on there. One at a time. Go through, farm, check your pieces of gear, farm some more. All right. This is another one. Another big one. Don't hyper-focus on legendary units. Everybody wants a new shiny. I'm the same way. One of the things you have to understand is it takes a lot more resources and resources you don't have to level these legendary units up. For instance, look at the passive on Clarison. This is my main single target DPS. It requires 4 dupes. I've got 1. 4 legendary dupes. You ain't gonna be touching that for a long time. Relics. Leveling the relics up, skill level up. It takes legendary relic dupes. Look, I got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So that's 1, 2, I think 3 levels. So I think it goes 10, 10, 20, 20. Or 10, 10, 10, 20, 20, 20, whatever. Okay, so your legendary units are going to be subpar. Yeah, early to mid game, you throw some attack gear on them, some crit set, they're doing a ton of fucking damage. But when you get into the nitty gritty of the passives and the cooldowns on the passives and things like that, your legendary units are not as good as you think they are. One of the things that I like about this game, and I'm going to compare it to Outer Plane and even Dragonair, are the lower tier units are just as good as legendaries. I promise you. I mean, look over here. I mean, this is a one-off case, but this right here is the MVP for the Gorgos fight. He removes dots and puts poison. He's an absolute MVP. But look it. I'm using Kierden. Okay? Look, I only have 1 skill up there. But look, I have 2, 3, 4, 5 skill ups there because I have the resources to do it. Like back to Jarrett. Maxed. What? Maxed. So go back, look through your kit, look for a rare unit that you like, that you can level up and skill up or whatever, and because you're literally increasing the amount of turns that your debuffs last or your buffs last, your cooldown reductions. This is very important. Don't hyper focus on a legendary. If you get a legendary and you want to use it, I mean, because there are some legendaries that if you don't use it, you're kind of not playing the game right. Like Colossus for one, extremely high DPS, turn meter manipulation. In my opinion, I mean Colossus, in my opinion, is the best unit in the game. And then actually the second best unit in the game, at least for DPS, is right here. I've seen people been arguing in Discord about it, but from my experience and the last CBTs and playing so far, Anguish is definitely top 3 DPS in the game. Okay, on to the next one. Man, these are going in perfectly in order. Do not waste your relic fragments. Okay, so in order to level up your relic skills, you have to use relic fragments. This is how you're going to do this, okay? Because you get relic fragments, it takes 10 to open up a new weapon. You're going to get some of these for units that you don't have. Just because you don't have the unit does not mean you want to waste those resources. So what you're going to do is you're going to go check that unit out. You're going to go look at the unit that you don't have the weapon for. Look at that weapon and see if that is a weapon that you want to unlock. If you think you can use it later or something, or it's vital to your build or whatever. If you're not going to use it, then you can go ahead and use those relic fragments. This is very important because what's going to happen is you might unlock 4 weapons for units you don't have, get the unit and be like, oh shit, this is a better weapon Let me switch over to Frost. And can't now because you use your Frost Relic Fragments. This is very important. My recommendation, and there might be a little bit of controversy to this, because it's efficient over long term, not short term. My recommendation is don't use any of your Relic Fragments unless it's a dupe for a weapon you already have. So, like for instance, this is Bodwin's Storm Relic. Well, actually, you know what? Let me go back out here because I think I can show this better with a green one. Okay. Okay, so for instance, okay, see, I have 30 fragments of Aaron's Frame Relic. I'm pretty sure I already unlocked his frame. God damn it, Flame Relic. So now you are safe to use those 30 fragments because they're not going to do anything other than level up an uncommon relic. Just be very, very mindful of what you're actually doing with these pieces. Where is Aaron? I thought I built them up to like 20 or 30 or something. Did I not? Where are you at, Aaron? No, that's not Aaron. Sorry, you guys are going to have to bear with me for 1 second. No, that is Aaron. Right? Yep. And see, I already have his Flame Relic. He's good to go. And, yeah, don't waste your Relic Fragments. That's very important. Last mistake to avoid. This is a pretty common one. But I still see people doing it. I did not follow this advice because I'm special. Do not use your arena tickets after reset. You're going to want to save your arena tickets until you're done progressing for the day. If you log on multiple times during the day, you're going to want to use your arena tickets after the very last time you do any type of progression. Your units might be able to get in there and win your 5 matches or your 10 matches. Super easy. But it's more efficient to wait just in case. You might only make a 5% total increase in progression for your units, but that 5% might be the difference between a winner or a loss. So save your arena tickets until you're done progressing for the day, whether you play an hour, 5 hours, 10 hours. Just save those tickets and use those at the end of your progression. All right. Sorry, I know this probably sounded like a rant, but it's not, I promise. So we're going to end this Mistakes to Avoid Volume 1, and we will get back to you guys a little bit later with some more videos. Peace.